What's up, sheepdogs? Ryan here, and welcome to my training, The Expert's Guide to Traveling and Transporting Firearms. In this training, we're going to discuss concealed carry reciprocity, how to legally transport a firearm on an airplane, how to transport a firearm across state lines while on a road trip, research that you must complete before your trip, how to legally transport a firearm in the state of Florida, and finally, the top 10 questions that I receive. When you receive your Florida concealed weapons permit, you gain the ability to conceal carry your firearm in the 38 blue states. This is because these states recognize the Florida concealed carry permit, and Florida recognizes that state's license. But it doesn't mean that the laws are similar. Can you guess whose responsibility it is to know the difference between the laws? I'll give you a hint. It's you. The Firearm Owners Protection Act, or FOIPA, protects lawful firearm owners who are transporting firearms from local authorities who may prohibit passage. 18 U.S.C. 926A, interstate transportation of firearms. Notwithstanding any other provision of any law or any rule or regulation of a state or any political subdivision thereof, any person who is not otherwise prohibited by this chapter from transporting, shipping, or receiving a firearm shall be entitled to transport a firearm for any lawful purpose from any place where he may lawfully possess and carry such firearm to any other place where he may lawfully possess and carry such firearm if, during such transportation, the firearm is unloaded and neither the firearm nor any ammunition being transported is readily accessible or is directly accessible from the passenger compartment of such transporting vehicle, provided that in the case of a vehicle without a compartment separating the driver's compartment, the firearm and ammunition shall be contained in a locked container, other than the glove compartment or console. Now, even though this is the law, this doesn't stop some states from arresting you for violating state law. New York is notorious for arresting people for violating state law, even if they are in compliance with federal law. My personal opinion is that you should verify each anti-American state and jurisdiction's firearms transportation laws before traveling there. These anti-American states include New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Maryland, Connecticut, California, Rhode Island, and Illinois. If you can avoid driving through a state with strict gun laws, you should. In 2018, I received a phone call from a criminal defense attorney in New York City. He informed me that a man who resides in Tampa was just arrested in New York for a weapons violation. He explained that this individual traveled to New York by vehicle to visit family. He brought along his Glock 19 for protection during his road trip. While in New York, he received troubling news and had to hop on a plane and head back to Tampa immediately. He then declared his firearm at the airport and was brought into the secondary inspection area. When the TSA agent realized this individual had an unlawful firearm under New York law, he was immediately arrested. I worked with this criminal defense attorney for months, attempting to create a package of firearm safety courses and volunteer opportunities for this individual to complete in the hopes to avoid jail time. After several months, this individual was convicted and sentenced to 3 years in a New York State jail. Unfortunately, this entire situation could have been avoided if he had completed 10 minutes worth of research. He would have known that what he was doing was unlawful, but because he decided to wing it, he's sitting in a cage. Please learn from his mistake and develop a strong understanding of the firearm laws for each state you intend to visit before you enter. Here is a list of questions you must find the answers to before entering a new state with a firearm. What are the requirements for transporting a firearm through this state? Is my firearm lawful to possess in this state? Is hollow point ammunition allowed in this state? In what places am I prohibited from carrying concealed? Can I carry in a restaurant that serves alcohol? What are the state requirements if stopped by the police? What firearms or weapons can I lawfully carry concealed? What are the laws on the use of deadly force? Do I have to obey no guns allowed signs at a local business? If traveling with multiple firearms, how do non-concealed firearms need to be stored in my vehicle? Does this state have a stand your ground provision? What are the rules? Does this state have a castle doctrine? What are the rules? Does this state have a retreat rule? Does this state have a preemption law? As you're planning for your trip, it's imperative to research the firearm laws for each state you will enter. Thankfully, there are several websites available to assist you with this process. First is NRA-LIA.com. This is the NRA's legal website. It provides an overview of firearms laws, but the information is not very detailed. Next, we have handgunlaw.us. This is a private website that provides detailed information on firearm law. The site is of inferior quality, but the data appears to be good. I absolutely encourage you to get your information directly from the state that you're going to be traveling to. That way, you know the information is valid.